This episode starts off with Pinkie Pie baking. Not that kind of baking! When suddenly she's called to her friendship duties, map duties... Has anyone come up with a name for that? Mind you, this is the first time the map has been seen since the season opener, so I doubt there's a consensus on that yet. Anyway, Twilight informs Pinkie and Rainbow Dash that they have been summoned to Griffonstone, which Rainbow Dash isn't too happy about.
Rude, insensitive
Wait, wasn't it Rainbow Dash that said she was curious about what it would be like to be a Griffin at the end of It Ain't Easy Being Breezies? Anyway, Twilight tells them about the tale of King Grover, who discovered the idol of Boreas and united the Griffins, turning Griffonstone into the most majestic kingdom in all of the... Yeah, you know what's coming. They get there and the place is trashed. To be honest, I always imagined Griffin culture in MLP to be militarised with a high emphasis on honour and loyalty. After all, the lion is considered the king of the jungle, and the eagle is considered the king of the skies. Whereas the griffin is the symbol of Vauxhall. You know, that explains a lot. Well, anyway, we get to see someone we've not seen since season 1, Gilda. I'm glad they brought her back, rather than introduce a new character. Mind you, I think Rainbow Dash would disagree.
Hello, Gilda. Dash.
Grandpa Gruff then tells him about what happened to the idol of Boreas and Griffonstone. For a couple of bits. These griffins are starting to sound an awful lot like the Ferengi in Star Trek. It wouldn't surprise me if they started listing the rules of acquisition. Hearing the story makes Pinkie Pie cry, but Grandpa Gruff tells her the first rule of acquisition. Once you have their money, you never give it back. Of course, Rainbow Dash gets the idea that retrieving the idol will reunite the griffins.
Haha, here we go. Typical pony hero complex.
Rainbow Dash goes to the local sporting goods and declares that she's going to find the idol. And the storekeeper, remembering the 59th rule of acquisition, free advice is seldom cheap, says she'll help for some bits. Or maybe it's the 74th rule, knowledge equals profit. Anyway, in the meantime, Pinkie Pie follows Twilight's advice and looks for the local library, which has fallen down. Twilight would be heartbroken. Well, after a very interesting back and forth between Pinkie Pie and Gilda, Pinkie tries a Griffin-scone.
Grandpa Gruff's recipe is good, but it's missing one important ingredient. Don't tell me. Friendship.
Okay, that was funny. And after Gilda helps another Griffin, Pinkie figures out what they need to do, just as Rainbow Dash falls into the abysmal abyss. And of course her guide remembers the 22nd rule of acquisition. A wise man can hear profit in the wind.
You got fits?
Pinkie finds Rainbow Dash, but she can't get down, so she asks Gilda. But Gilda refuses because she and Rainbow Dash are no longer friends. But then Gilda remembers back to the time in Junior Flight Camp when... Oh, look! She's so cute, oh! What was I talking about? Oh yeah. Pinkie Pie then gets overexcited and jumps into the abyss. And I'm sure everyone else reviewing this episode is comparing this scene to Indiana Jones. So instead, I'll compare the scene to Suburban Nights.
Mars girl! Mars girl. Mars girl, don't Mars girl! Give me your other hand, honey, I can't hold you! Yeah, this is kind of silly.
But Gilda then remembers the 125th rule of acquisition. You can't make a deal when you're dead. And pulls herself up as well as Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash, leaving the idol to fall. The three then return to Griffonstone, depressed over not getting the idol back. But then Pinkie Pie reminds them that they don't need the idol, as long as they have each other. Yeah, that does sound sappy. Well, they tell Gilda to go make a friend and
said it tasted good. That's the first nice thing any Griffin's ever said to me.
next time we see her, she'll be Queen Gilda. I like this episode. It has some great world building as well as expanding on a species that's not really had much in the way of backstory. Not to mention reintroducing a character not seen since season 1, as well as repairing a relationship that was broken since then is not only inspired but it's very in line with what the show is about. Although one problem I did have with the episode is pronounced Scone.
And he did it all with that incredible idol of Boreas.